Hello, beloveds. My passion is the divine. I'm totally devoted to the divine, and I want to talk about how I invite the divine into my life. So, as I talk about in my Meet Kate video, there was just a time where I had to fully surrender. And so I started dipping my toe in a little bit here and there of surrendering and because it was a little, I was a little taken aback over how I was feeling, and oh my God, this feels holy and sacred, and am I ready for that? There was some resistance. Um, but then I surrendered the resistance. So I said, Divine Mother, I surrender any remaining resistance I might have in letting you fully in. I surrender any obstacles or blocks that are keeping me from fully devoting myself to you, that are keeping me from fully living within you or for you. And as soon as I let go of that resistance, it's like, oh my God, some blocks came free, and she's like, okay, this is one I can use. And that's when I discovered, the whole miracle minded thing and got the idea to, have this website devoted to the divine. So it's a constant surrender, but then I allow her into my life in every single way. So when I talk about the divine mind, it's gone from a fearful dialogue of, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. The duality of right and wrong and judgment and martyrdom and victimhood, it went from that to just being in constant, I'll say prayer, in constant prayer and devotion to the Divine Mother. So it went from a fearful monologue to a divine dialogue. And so I invite her in, before I even open my eyes in the morning. Divine Mother, I invite you into this day. I invite you into my morning routine. When I go somewhere, I invite her into the car with me, and I ask her to pave the way to wherever I'm going. I am talking to her constantly. So it really is an intimacy. It's a relationship. I invite her into the food I am making for my family. I've become an amazing cook because I put the divine in that. And what does that mean? It means I look at the food and I tell it it's the best food ever, that it's the best thing I've ever made. I invite the divine into it and say, oh, you are divine tacos, you are divine zucchini bread, you are divine cake, whatever I'm making. I pour that love into it and invite her in. And because of that, I have to say, with the end of the duality, it doesn't really matter what we eat. I've always thought that people were healthier when everyone said grace. And that is because you were inviting the divine into your food. I believe and I know that when you bring the divine into your food, into your life, anything can be good for you. Absolutely anything. It doesn't matter what we eat. I have learned that she is my true source. She's my true source of all things. And, according to A Course in Miracles, which I do really highly recommend because it shows you what's real and what's not. In duality, everything is meaningless. The bad is meaningless and the good is meaningless. That was a revelation for me. The only thing that matters is when we bring the divine into it. That way it's new and true. So I truly invite her into everything, into my relationships. She fixes technology for me. We'll be having computer glitches, and I say, Divine Mother, I surrender this to you. Redo it according to your divine will and your divine love. It's just a thought. And she changes it. She fixes it. This is what I am experiencing all the time. So if you want more of this, just invite her in everywhere. She wants to be everywhere. She wants to recreate and restore everything. I invite her when I have a tangle in my hair. Divine Mother, I invite you into my hair. And the tangle comes out easily. It's that simple. She just wants to be invited in every little thing. When I say intimacy, I mean intimacy. The hair, the elimination process. If you're having problems there, invite her in. She'll help you. Trust me. Everywhere you want to invite her in, you invite her in. Every little thing you can think of, let her be a part of it. and it will be a constant dialogue, a constant devotion. And she just wants to delight us. But to delight us, we have to invite her in. So do it in any way you can, because life is just so much better with the divine. I love ya.